Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and it's dark, it's late, it's Black Friday evening. We have had an excellent Thursday, Friday, little holiday mini weekend here with some extended family, eating lots of good food, and getting good news in War of the Visions. Because this coming Monday, we are getting the Final Fantasy X-2 collaboration in global, so we are really close to, it feels like a lifetime ago, I guess, when we used to be 4 months behind JP and they'd get a collab and we had to wait, a third of a year before it came out for us. Now they get a collab and it feels like it's right around the corner. Boom, that we're getting it too. Now, in our first wave of this, again, next Monday, we're going to get Yuna, Paine, and Taking the Stage vision card from FF10-2. I have heard that Yuna is really good. I've heard mixed reviews about Paine, and I really don't know anything about the vision card yet. So I'm going to go look at all this stuff for the first time in this video right here, kind of give you my first impressions about these units, just taking my first little look at them, and let's see how we feel about them together. And let's start with Yuna. Now, Yuna in FF10-2, very different person than Yuna in FF10-1 or FF10. You guys, you don't have to put the 1 if it's like the first game. Final Fantasy X Yuna, more of a healer, a summoner, all of that. We got dual guns going here for Yuna. So Gunner FF10-2. 100 cost light element unit, so lots of power in light already. Her TMR, Yuna's pouch, is an accessory with some attack on it, which is kind of interesting. It gives accuracy up 30 for 4 turns and restores CT up to 100 when performing a critical hit. I actually kind of like this in terms of like a I don't know, CT up on a crit. There could be some times when this is really clutch. It doesn't have agility on it, so that kind of holds it back for me in terms of like agility tuning, but it's not terrible. Her master ability gives her more accuracy, so she's clearly a unit playing around accuracy. It gives critical damage, which again further leans into the notion that I already had, where this is going to be a DPS unit, probably a ranged DPS unit, especially with Gunner, Sniper, and Trick Lancer as her jobs. Her dream ability, she's going to get the area attack size damage reduction for physical and magic. Again, one of those more modern ways of reducing damage, which it feels like in the game right now, especially having come back, you have to just stack all of the ways of removing damage, right? You need attack size like honeycomb barriers. You need AoE, single target, defense, spirit, like all shields, barriers, all that stuff. And so she is at least coming with some of those right in her dream ability. She gets reaction block rate, which is always good, and an upgraded skill. Now, I am curious to see how much agility she's going to be running with. 71. Okay, so very, very high agility unit. She's scaling off of attack clearly instead of magic with that 597 attack compared to that 84 magic. Okay, all right. So we got ourselves a DPS gunner girl right here. Okay, support abilities. Her first one gets an upgrade. Versatile Gunslinger gets upgraded to it's not an ordinary bullet, or whatever it's going to be called in our version of the game. 24% attack, 40 defense pin, single target pin 40, move -1. Now, okay, let's talk for a second about this. Move -1 on a ranged unit, not necessarily bad. In fact, if she has buffs that you want her to be using, which again, I haven't looked at this kid at all yet, or you want her using TMR stuff, having her move less will actually it has the same effect early in a match of having her decrease her range, which could encourage her to get some more buffs off. So I really like that a lot. This is a stacked support ability because all of those ways of reducing damage I was talking about before, defense, single target resist, boom, she has a way of getting around about half of both of those things on a unit right there. Okay, she does have access to range 1, which is weird if you're running, I don't know, that one's pretty bad. Her second new one, it will be folded up quickly, is agility, which is nice. She gets physical based resistance 4 for herself, so she can stack a little bit more resist there, and range up 1. Okay, so if you run both of these two things early in a fight just kind of cancel each other out. The drawback to this one being if you want her moving around and buffing, it will be harder for her to do it. Range up 1, I mean, sometimes you just want more range. I think many folks will run Trick Lancer's Knowledge, looking that she has that, because that gives you crit and defense pin. You're stacking up to 80 defense pin just from 2 support abilities. I think you probably are mixing Trick Lancer's Knowledge with Ordinary Bullet Yeah, that's probably the one. You can get a little bit more accuracy here, but you can also get luck here. Okay, I think you're probably going Trick Lancer's Knowledge, Ordinary Bullet for her support stuff. Her counter, she has Auto Potion, which is cool sounding, 20% chance to heal herself. This looks weak. Like, yeah, just a self-heal's kind of lame. The first weakness to her kit right here looks to be her counter abilities. I'd say her support abilities are popping off. Her counter abilities, yeah, there's a little bit of a fall off there with Auto Potion being her like new one. Okay, main job, let's see what we got. So her cheat move, Speed Shot, 5 cast, 16 AP, 121% mod. She scales off attack, dex, and luck, and this restores 200 CT for herself. You could, in theory, I guess, stack that with her TMR to get 300 CT up if you're critting. That's pretty cool. So there we go. Next up, we get another TP move. Effect not translated. You get range 2 and it goes away after being hit twice and restore AP when performing a crit. So here's a way of really leaning into her range. So again, if you're gonna like reduce her speed and you want her to just stay all the way back, like just really stay back, this is interesting because it's going to give her that range and that AP restore. I really wonder what this does. It's probably something good, and it's probably something good for an ally because this is self, so this is going to be some kind of ally buff. I wonder if in the news it didn't tell us what that did. Let's go check and find out. So here's the preview here. Yeah, bestows effect on ally other than self for 4 turns that deal additional damage and seal re-raise remove. Ooh, okay, for 3 turns and nullify CT up for 3 turns and does not affect chains when selected ally deals ability damage and raises own range by 2. Then there's the rest of that. So bestows effect on ally other than self for 4 turns that allows Yuna, the bestower, to deal additional damage. So it's like a follow-up attack. Okay, that move's absolutely OP looking. Great. So she's got another one of those modern things. It looks like some kind of follow-up attack. Now, another TP move right off the start, Promised Healing. So this is a big AoE. Now, this big AoE is important because with that move down 1, this is going to give you the ability to buff somebody 2 tiles away. So you can, it just extends the range of your buff for like early turn buffing, which could be really important, especially since she's going to be wanting to cast this on a lot of people and might not have as much move with her support ability. What the heck does this thing do? So 200% chance physical damage up. She basically increases physical and magic damage by 20% for 4 turns. She gives allies Dispel Haste. She gives allies healing power down. She gives herself re-raise, and when she's revived, she drops aggro, and she gets all elemental resist 20% for 4 turns. Another really good buff. This gives her a little bit of supportiness, right, to her kit. That damage amp for an ally is going to be a big deal, and the debuffing that comes with it, the haste removal, revive removal, all that stuff, really good. Okay, next up, so she can already give allies Dispel Haste. She can dispel auto revive, so re-raise for targets with a small AoE right here, Release Shot, and when target is killed, automatically recover AP for self. Okay, so that's pretty good. She has a nice medium range small AoE move. Again, that range will be boosted by a lot of her other abilities, so you'll get a little bit more range there. Then single target attacks, I feel like, are going to be her bread and butter with her single target attack penetration and her support ability. This one will reduce physical damage taken, increase buff. So she debuffs damage taken down. She debuffs distance-based damage down and does 200% damage. This is a really powerful move in like the modern game, I feel like. And then multi-burst, 2 target, multi-hit attack, single target resist down up to 60, 200% mod, boosted hit chance. It's going to crit and it's going to pierce, and it has insane range. So this is going to be her main thing. She can target 2 people and just start popping off with both her guns. That's really what she's going to be all about. She looks good. Like, I could just tell this is a character who's going to walk into a fight, buff her allies, and do a bunch of damage, which is what you want. Okay, she also has another 2 target attack that knocks AP off and can confuse. That's pretty good. She has a defense debuff, but just for that cast. Then she has Sniper and Trick Lancer for her sub jobs. Probably run Trick Lancer just to add that, piercing type damage in there. And then her limit break down here at the bottom, missile attack resist pin 30. So she has a way of giving herself that. It's a 4-hit attack, 240 mod, and increases her CT. That will definitely do a lot of damage. So that's Final Fantasy X-2 Yuna. that we're looking at. We are also getting Paine, or Paine, as she is referred to on the Japanese translation. So let's take a look at Paine real quick right here. Dark element 90 cost. She's warrior, blade knight, and lancer, or throw. Lancer sucks, man, that's too bad. She's a great sword user though, which makes a lot of sense considering who we're talking about. Leather poncho is going to be your TMR. Again, nothing special on the stat line here. The buff gives physical damage up 15% and restores AP. I like that buff. Haste or something might have been even better, but damage up, you'll live with damage up. Her master ability is going to give reaction block rate and acquired AP up. Nice little bit of synergy there, I guess. Her dream ability, accuracy, single target resist, crit evade, and an upgraded skill. Feels 90 cost. But again, I've heard mixed things about Paine. Let's see what else she's running with here. She scales off of attack, obviously, and she's got a lot of it. 69 agility is for sure not slow. The rest of her stats, again, looking kind of 90 cost-ish to me. Let's look at her kit. That's really what we want to see. Okay, support abilities. I will show no mercy to those who oppose me. This is her upgraded support ability. It's going to give defense pin, slash attack resist pin, and single target resist. That's really good, right? 2 of the defense penetrations that you need with actual defense pin and slash attack pin, and then a defense that you want to have for yourself with single target resist. I like that one a lot. Then Knight Swordsmanship will give you slash attack pin and 24% attack if you want that. There's a not translated thing here, which is interesting. Again, let's go see what the game told us about in the news for Paine. So armor break, that's not the one we're looking at here. We are looking at, oh, this is interesting. This one does a potion. So she has a little heal. We can look at that again if we need to. Okay, it's not going to talk about that in the game. So we're just going to have to wonder about that for now. Whatever. I imagine a lot of people will probably run Knight Swordsmanship, to be honest. That feels like the way you go here, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, going down. Her new counter move, Don't Get Carried Away, has a nice bit of range to it and is preemptive. 30% proc chance is low, but a nice range preemptive counter is good. That's one you're going to want to run probably and take advantage of it. Okay. Her main job. We've got a dark unit that scales purely off attack, 120% attack for these moves. She has an agility buff on her low AP cost. So it doesn't do anything to the enemy except a little bit of damage. It gives her a 25% agility buff. That's interesting. Okay, Impenetrable. This is a self buff for her, reduces physical damage 7,500. So a physical damage shield. I love that. It also gives her 30 AoE resist and 25 single target resist. Oh my God, that buff is good. She's a thick girl now. She pops this buff, she is a lot harder to kill, especially for physical damage units. Then she gets charge, which upgrades to rush. Now this is a group buff, increase attack 30% for allies, haste for allies, AoE haste. This is absolutely a game changer because one thing I've struggled with right now with a lot of the teams I like to play is getting haste on my units because I'm playing a lot of like Agrius, Squall, stuff like that, where I have to have a TMR to give them haste. That kind of sucks. Orlando, same kind of deal. So AoE haste, I love this buff. It also gives protect to the allies. She gets courage and restores AP. Her TP moves are bonkers good, like ridiculous. Okay, so I'm liking that. Now, she's a chainer for sure. Like, you could tell this chick is going to chain. So dark slashing teams, maybe she could find her way onto some of those for, PvE stuff. Anyway, triple blade, slash resistance down 30% for the target, 3-hit slasher, 165% mod. You'll love to see it. Armor break, breaks physical barriers, decreases chain resist for the target so they can't resist the chain. It's a decent range, small AoE too, and a multi-hit. 200% mod. It automatically casts another skill, potion, which we can look in the client for a second to see what that is, and it increases single target resist penetration for the targets. Increase for the people you're hitting. Yeah. Weird translation there, but I imagine she penetrates single target resist. And then dual saber, 3 uses, 2 target, dispel, courage, 200% mod, so a multi-target attacker. Some AoE mixed into her kit right there. Real quick, let's go read this armor break ability real quick. So destroys any barrier resist damage, lowers type chain resist, and activates potion. So it doesn't actually talk about the upgrade here, which is unfortunate because it was translated a little buggy. If you run her sub job, she has a slowing attack, which again, for like PvE chaining stuff, could be really clutch. And then power break, which is an AoE, decreases their defense, pin, and attack. Again, could be useful for some things. You probably run, doesn't really matter what you probably run for her sub job, but you do have a guaranteed hit, javelin throw in Lancer. And then her limit break, slash attack pin 40 for herself, nice range, small AoE, 240% mod, and knocks their CT down, which again, pretty good. It's not a chainer though. There is a lot of chaining built into her kit. Overall, I think both of these units look super playable. I see why Yuna's like range and buffing makes people think she's really good, and I think she'll pop off. I'm kind of more excited to play Paine over here, and we're getting a vision card. So I got two open things for this vision card here. One of them is this. Let's start here. So the vision card has AP, attack, and dex. I like AP and attack on there. Dex feels a little wasted, but whatever. You get HP and attack for the unit effect. It is going to give a group buff of agility, critical damage. I like that combo. And physical damage size down up to 20. So that, like, again, like barrier, the up to 20% physical damage resistance. Really like that for Yuna, who's going to be at range and will probably be able to take advantage of that a lot. I like this vision card. It looks really strong. And then on Arena, you're going to get critical hit rate 15. Now, if we jump over here, we can see what characters actually get to use this vision card. And that's interesting. So for Dark, you do have some Dark power here. Obviously, Paine, Cypher, who I've gotten a lot of play out of and like, Irvine, who has got some fans. So there's some decent Dark units on there. Yuna is on there as well with Veritas. New Cloud is on here. Honestly, there's some decent light units. I'm checking out the rest of this, looking for just some like OPs. I don't know that I see a ton of other like super OPs. Water Joom's good. New Jaden, I don't really know about New Jaden yet. A2 obviously still probably can hang. So there are some decent units on here. If you're trying to do like maybe a Sword Warrior team, for example, looks pretty stacked with this vision card. I'll definitely be getting this vision card and the unit. And the nice thing for me is I've been finding things to clear in the game to get some more Visior. So even on just the Google Play version of the game, I'm at 50k Viz. On the Amazon version, which I have to use my phone to do now, I'm at like 54 or something like that after buying the pack F. I'm just basically dropping $1 a day, one more dollar, and I get this to finish, you know, my one of the newest units I just got. So my account's coming along nicely. I'm very ready for this collaboration. I can either have, you know, New Sottily or Exia up and running by then with those tickets, which will be fun. Yeah, honestly, I'm all about the collabs in this game right now. Very happy to see Final Fantasy X-2 getting some love. And that's it. Long video, 18-minute. It's like a news preview slash, you know, mixed video. Enjoyed it, y'all. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your holiday weekend, and I'll see you next time. Peace.